My name's Dan Sirius. Great to be here. Great to be back in the studio. We're going to get back on schedule. We're going to be taking your phone calls. Of course, 888-589-8840. We've got Fred Jackson going to fill us in on some of the political news that we might not cover otherwise. So Fred's going to be with us in in about 20 minutes, and then we'll talk to Fred and get back to the phones. Hey, let me just, you know what, before I do anything, let me just talk about what we can expect in the week ahead as far as economic news. Of course, first off, gasoline prices have climbed along with the prices of crude oil. The average price of gasoline for regular gasoline stood at $3.84 last week. That's up almost 50 cents since the 1st of July, by the way. So we'll continue to see that anticipation of Fed stimulus, which I already talked about, trashing the dollar, obviously inflation kicking in, and that would include gasoline. And all the tensions in the Middle East. We've got some refinery disruptions due to forest fires in California and disruptions from Hurricane Isaac. So that has put a bit of a strain on gasoline, not a whole lot. But the fact of the matter is, Iran announced yesterday that they want $150 a barrel oil, and they want it like now. Well, of course, they need it. They only have a few countries buying their oil, and they want to see it go up. Not to mention, they're trying to do everything they can, along with the President of the United States and others, to cripple our American economy. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, we're hovering just below $100 a barrel. Let's get a quick look at where oil is right now and see if we can see what the commodities are doing. So it looks like oil now is at $98.63. So that's where we are right now. So we'll see how that ends up. Later on today, in about 45 minutes, we've got the Empire State. That would be the New York Fed coming out of New York's manufacturing survey. That's coming out at 10 o'clock this morning, 10 o'clock Eastern time. So we'll watch that very closely, because then Thursday we have the Philly Fed number coming out. They have been contracting. They have been going in the wrong direction for the last 3 months. We'll see if today's any different. So we'll bring that to you as soon as that news breaks. The National Association of Home Builders on Tuesday, tomorrow, is going to release its housing market index for September. Also on Wednesday, the Commerce Department will tally up its August home sales. That coming from the National Association of Realtors report on sales of existing homes. So we'll see what the month of August, that would be for the month of August. We'll see how that looks like, what that looks like. Federal Reserve Bank, again in Philadelphia on Thursday, is going to release its outlook for manufacturing under the Philadelphia Fed. So we'll take a close look at that. Of course, Thursday is always those filing for new unemployment claims. There is some talk this morning that GM, General Motors, Government Motors, however you want to look at it, is talking about getting out. They want their stock. They want the stock that you and I have in the company. They want it out of there. They don't want us to own any more of it. They want to divest themselves of the billions that they still owe America, and they are putting pressure on the government to sell the stock. Now, understand, the government's never going to sell the stock until after November 6th, because they don't want everybody to be talking about the huge losses the taxpayers are taking. So I know that GM, they want to get out from, listen, they want to get back to flying in their corporate jets, which they're not allowed to do. They want to get back to higher salaries and not have wages and bonuses under the watchful eye of the government. They want to get rid of all that. They want to get back to acting like a private entity. But General Motors will do what the government says they will do when they say they will do it, like it or not. That's just the way it's going to be. And the Fed is not going to have, the federal government is not going to have anything to do with making themselves look bad. Well, you know, we had QE1, we had QE2, we had QE3. I'm calling it QE3. It's Operation Twist. And now we've got QE forever. It's QE forever. There is no, I was wrong, folks, because I said that there will be a QE 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and so on and so forth. Remember, you heard me say that for the last 2 years, that there will continue to be quantitative easing. Well, that is true. There will be. The difference now is it won't have to be named. They won't have to say QE3. They're not going to put a limit on it. Right now, the Fed looks like they're going to buy at least $480 billion in the next 12 months because they've agreed. But they can do more. They can do whatever they want. They can do $1 trillion next in 1 month if they want, because they have a QE forever or a QE open-ended or a QE spending spree that they don't have to talk about anymore. Pretty soon, it's just going to be part of the new normal in the economy. See, we've got lots of what are new normals. New normals like, well, no budget, just operating without a budget. We don't need a budget. No sense in it. That's part of the new normal. And this is going to be, you know, part of the fact that the new normal of unemployment will probably be like 7.5% someday. And they'll just say, well, that's the new normal. Now we've got a new normal for quantitative easing so that we can continue to print money and they can continue to trash the dollar.